Quantity of motion of a moving body measured as a product of its mass and velocity. What are we talking about here? We're talking about momentum today, and that's the physics definition of momentum. Another definition is strength or force gained by motion or by a series of events. So, momentum is, to me, the strangest force in all of the universe. With momentum, it's something that you know when you have it and you know when you lose it, but you can't really touch it or really measure it. So it's just one of these like unwoven forces of the universe that's really essential to any path that you're trying to take in life, especially on your path of success. And the proof of how important momentum is, it really comes in the display often of sports events. So when you watch a sport event, you know what team has the momentum. And you watch the announcers, they often, tell you when the momentum has changed in somebody else's favor. So I don't really play games too much, but it's kind of like the Madden. So Madden with the, I guess, X factor. If your player gets the X factor, then they just maximize all their skills and they're just the best player at that point. That X factor is the momentum, or 2K when they get the little flames up under them. So all of this being said, guys, momentum is something that you just have to trust. So why is momentum important? Well, as I just mentioned, when you have the momentum, you're able to, easily have results a bit more, easily than you would have if you did not have momentum. So the proof of this in my own life was when it took me 9 months to get my first wholesale deal. During those 9 months, I'm working a 9-to-5 job at JD Byrider, and I'm, cleaning cars. And only thing I would do, I would look outside and I'm like, man, what do people do when they're not, working? Like, I know this is not the only way of life. I'm working from, 8 in the morning to about 5 p.m. in the evening. What do people do during this time? So that's what I wanted to figure out. And on my quest of figuring that out over time, when I, got my first deal and I ended up quitting, and I quit my job, and a lot of people could have been nervous about that as far as, having income coming in. And I wasn't nervous because, partially I knew that I just, closed the deal. I was good for a couple of months, but I also knew that there'd be more coming in. So the reason I knew that there'd be more coming in is because I listened to a book, and this is one of my favorite books, and I really recommend you guys go read it. It's called The Compound Effect. So The Compound Effect, and definitely read it, but just to pull out, one theme of the book is when you work for a certain amount of time, the results that don't appear to be in front of you because you haven't saw them initially, those results are just accumulating in the background. So once you fill up the bar all the way, or once you complete what you're ultimately trying to complete, then if you double down and focus more, your results will be amplified just due to the compound effect. So with that being in my own life, the compound effect is, when I first got out of JD Byrider, I stopped my, 9-to-5. I was making about $14 an hour, something like that. And that same month, I went and had a 5-figure month. And that was all from old past deals that, miraculously just came back to me in the universe. So it literally just started, old deals, people giving me a call back. And that's because I'd already made that decision to quit my job. So I believe that, as I made that decision to quit my job and I started, going and doing a process even more in depth, doubling down on the process that I already started when I wasn't seeing any results, then I believe that gave me the momentum to carry on and have a 5-figure month, my first month full-time real estate investing. And guys, the importance of momentum is that, and the weird thing about it is, if you don't give momentum the chance to work, then it'll never work in your favor. And if you get, let's say, if I would have just celebrated my first check, so my celebration was like, a day, I think I went out to dinner or something like that, but I wasn't, absorbing my life about it and just being happy about it. The way you really gain momentum is by staying in motion. I think that's the ironic part about it. So just because you reach a certain level of, what you deem to be success, so on, be, do, have, create, persist, destroy cycle, once you, get the creation of it, then you begin once you have it, you begin on a phase of destruction. So once you have it, I believe that this is the case because as you're persistent to trying to accomplish a goal, you're building up so much momentum. You're building up so much momentum that, you don't know you have the momentum. You can't measure the momentum. You can't measure it or anything, but you just know that you're building it up by having faith. So with you having this faith and you're persistent to accomplish what you want to accomplish, then once you get it, if you continue to do it, like I'm trying to make this make sense for you guys. If you continue to do it, then your results will be amplified even more versus enjoying it. Because once you enjoy your new creation, sort of say, then you are automatically on the path of destruction, the time that you spend enjoying your creation. So I believe this is all ironic because, the goal of life is to accomplish things. And that's what we see. If you start something, the goal is to accomplish it. But if you just focus on accomplish it, then it all goes away. If you just focus on that versus focusing on how to improve it and how to do something else to improve yourself. Guys, like I said, momentum is a weird thing. This is my, best way I can explain it, but I'm explaining it to you guys because it's crucial. Momentum is the reason why, the quote unquote rich get richer and poor get poorer. It's because once you are rich, once you have money, once you have wealth, then it just attracts more wealth. And not only it attracts more wealth, you attract the wealth because you're a wealthy person. So with you being able to continue to, do the good habits and the things that got you wealthy in the first place, you'll just attract more wealth and it'll become easier. Everything will be easier because you're already in motion. It's already a series of events that led to this it's not what you do right now that's leading to it. It's already it's the past motion that you've already built up. No different than with you guys. Let's say, and just to bring it full circle, right? With you guys, let's say that you're in a position where, you're not sure, you don't see payoffs right now, but you know for a fact that you've been dedicated to the process. Then all you have to do is have faith that what you are doing is going to turn out to work. And then once it works, instead of you being, so excited, like, I told you so, I'm happy it worked, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that, you just have to, once you accomplish it, go ahead and start doing something else. So once you start doing something else, you are on a path of improving yourself and keeping momentum on your side. That way, whatever you continue to do, you'll only get better and it'll only happen easier and quicker. I hope this one made sense to you guys. It makes sense to me, but the best way to really make it make sense for your life, because the only reason it makes sense for me is because I played sports, so I understood when my coach would be like, momentum, but I also, in my own life of my entrepreneurship journey and my journey of success, it's only showed to be true more and more that the less I, celebrate something, the more that I just focus on, all right, that was cool, but what's next? How do I improve that better? How do I make this come? The more I do that, the more my results just keep compounding. And the more I feel the momentum inside. You can feel the momentum when you have it, and you can really feel it when you don't have it after you've already had it. So just keep yourself on the path of success. And the way you do that ultimately, like I say, guys, is get to stepping. Get to stepping in the direction that you know you have to do. Have the awkward conversations, have the awkward moments, because those awkward conversations really a testament of your success. One of the main measurements of how successful you'll be is, how many awkward conversations are you willing to have? And if you think about that, there's a lot of awkward conversations that people avoid ever having. So, if you have an awkward conversation, go have it right now. Go have one. Go have the conversation that you feel like you don't want to have. Go have that conversation now. That way you continue on your journey of success and improving yourself. It's the main way. Keep improving yourself. That way you don't ever feel like you've already accomplished the end goal, because whenever you get this feeling of accomplishment, you're automatically on a path of self-destruction. All right, guys, get to stepping.